Okay, so now we have pulled out a plaster mold. This is a slipcast mold, and it is capable of making copies of the same clay piece over and over and over again. To give you some examples, these 3 cups, although they look different in many aspects, and this one here and this one here, are all made from exactly the same mold. A plaster mold. Here's another example. Here's one that's much smaller and something that is also quite like it, but not quite the same. Then we have this one here, which is actually based on this mold itself, and as you can see, you can use different slips or different types of clay and to make different colored mugs and also add different effects afterwards. So, without further ado, we're going to get into opening up this particular mold right here. Now, as I said, it is a plaster mold. Now, what many people don't know about plaster, although you know that you use it in your walls, a lot of people don't know that plaster has an extraordinary affinity for water, an almost violent affinity for water, and it can pull water literally right out of your skin if you sit there and you press and you hold your hand on plaster long enough. It can literally pull water right out of your skin. So the thing is that because of this interesting effect, one of the things that we can do is we can take a thing called a clay slip, which is essentially clay plus water and a deflocculant, which is basically a fancy term that says making sure that the clay doesn't silt out to the bottom when you mix it up with the water, so it stays in suspension. And essentially what happens is that once you pour that into this mold, what happens is that it starts immediately trying to pull all that water out right into the plaster itself. When it tries to do that, one of the things that happens is that it immediately starts to create a film of clay. So one of the things that happens here, and I'll show you in just a moment here, we'll bring it up over top, is that you start to have this film of clay, and if you pour it off after about somewhere between a half an hour and an hour, you will get a nice film on the inside. So we're going to show you right here. This is the film on the inside. Now, this film that you're seeing here, I poured it off after about a half an hour, and this is what's left, and it got a chance to dry out.